All right. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Bethel.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Kim.
All right. All
Hey.
right. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. I want to thank everybody for joining us for our
Uh-oh,
final.
now we don't hear you at all.
Okay. There we go. All right. I want to thank everybody for joining us for our financial wellness ministry monthly conversation. If you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, please go ahead and share the post. We'd be extremely appreciative. If you'd like to join us on the Zoom platform to participate in the verbal conversation, just click the link pinned to the top of the comments on either your YouTube or Facebook platform. I'm now going to put everything in the hands of the coordinator of our financial wellness ministry, Kiera Hall.
Hello, 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 everyone. Um, hey, so everyone is in for a treat today. Today we are going to watch a video about a nonprofit by the name of NACA, or some people might say NACA. And it's gonna be an educational video just talking about the history and some of the things that this nonprofit has been able to do. And then after we watch the video, I'm going to share, I'm going to give like a little tour of their website and show everyone how to be able to take the free home buyer workshop, and then show you what they have available as far as an opportunity to really make it an even playing field to create an opportunity for home ownership for everyone. So I'm going to hit share. And let me make sure my sound is sharing. And we're gonna watch this awesome video. So let me go ahead and hit play.
The Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America, NACA,
Sharks do bite.
is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to end financial exploitation and to stabilize your neighborhoods. We provide the best mortgage product in America, while NACA provides comprehensive housing services. It is first and foremost a confrontational community advocacy organization.
NACA was founded by Bruce Marks more than 30 years ago. He continues to be the CEO and visionary.
Come on, we're going! It is a war waged on many fronts. We take the junkyard dog approach. Once we grab on, we never let go, no matter how long it takes.
NACA is the outgrowth of the Hotel Workers Union Local 26.
The overwhelming majority of our membership are paying somewhere between 60 and 70% of their income towards housing.
Local 26 undertook a 5-year campaign to provide housing assistance for its members. As part of this fight, hundreds of workers went to Washington to change the federal labor law.
Strong enough to challenge the law. Strong enough to change a stupid law that says we have no right to negotiate what's good for our family.
In 1990, President Bush changed the federal labor law that hadn't been changed in more than 20 years. And for the first time, a local union was responsible. Now, unions could negotiate to provide down payment and closing cost assistance to workers to make homeownership a reality for working people.
We've always taken the good fight. The NACA goal is to set a standard for the country. But if you're going to be out there fighting the financial predators, you got to take on the big ones. You can't take the easy road. That sends a message to the institutions out there that says, when NACA takes you on, we're going to do whatever it takes to win.
When you own a piece of the rock, when you own your neighborhood, you rise up and drive the parasites out because you have that power. We have that power.
NACA was the first to spearhead campaigns against predatory lenders. It coined the term predatory lending. Lenders set up borrowers to fail through high interest rates, outrageous fees, and unreasonable terms. Whether it's called loan sharking, subprime lending, or payday lending, the fundamental issue remains the same: the taking from working people and minorities to benefit the wealthy. This is a continuation and expansion of the wealth disparity gap.
How many of you are ready to take the blood-sucking profiteers on? How many of you are down for the fight?
The first target was the largest and most aggressive predatory lender, Fleet Bank. They cut off credit to minority communities while providing lines of credit to loan sharks.
We're staying here to meet with
No, you're not staying here to meet with police.
Then you're going to have to arrest us.
In Georgia, where Fleet Finance is based, more than 20,000 borrowers think those sales look more like fins, the fins of loan sharks.
There really were substantial abuses within the industry which wound up causing people to lose their homes for no legitimate reason.
It is a wake-up call to Congress.
This nationwide battle took 4.5 years. It included demonstrations and confrontations wherever Fleet was active. We won the war.
It is welcome news for us that it's decided to embark on this program to commit $8 billion for community lending.
As part of the victory, Fleet not only pledges $8 billion to add to its community lending, but contributes millions to settle lawsuits and funds $140 million to establish NACA's Best in America mortgage program. NACA also convinced Congress to pass new legislation.
I have prepared legislation that will provide an important first step towards filling in the gaps in consumer protection. It's called the Homeownership and Equity Protection Act of 1993.
The next target was Barnett Bank and its predatory subsidiary, Equicredit.
The group says it's a grassroots organization that uses persistence to force banks to change their lending practices. In Jacksonville, the bank they've targeted is Barnett.
We believe in confrontation. We believe in being at the banks wherever they go. We go to the analyst meetings. We go to the annual meeting. We go to where they make presentations. And we have a long attention span.
Barnett succumbs to the pressure. NACA exposes and changes Barnett's predatory subsidiary, Equicredit. And Barnett funds $20 million to the NACA mortgage. First Union was next. In 1995, it was one of the nation's largest lenders and one of the most racist.
He calls himself a bank terrorist, but he uses words, not bonds.
A protest is planned tomorrow against one of Charlotte's biggest banks, First Union.
First Union has some of the worst minority lending practices.
You check us out, Fast Eddie!
Fast Eddie is First Union Chief Executive Ed Crutchfield, and he's getting a lot of attention.
Be fair, Eddie! We deserve equality!
These people say First Union stands out, and this battle is getting personal. First Union CEO Ed Crutchfield is on protesters' wanted flyers. They don't respect working people because they want to lend to their own.
NACA forces First Union to lend to minority borrowers, and it funds $150 million to the NACA mortgage. CEO Ed Crutchfield, the target of the campaign, is personally impacted.
Tonight, a primetime investigation. It manufactures some of the most popular cars in America.
Ford, quality is job one.
But there's another side of the Ford Motor Company you may not know about.
Absolutely a loan shark.
Ford is one of the largest money lenders in the country, and workers inside the company say it used aggressive tactics to put people into debt.
We'd say, what a sucker. Cha-ching. We just made the company some money.
They eat you up and they spit you out. That's Ford Motor Company.
A lot of people are getting fed up with Ford. In Atlanta, thousands packed a church to bear witness against the way they say Ford does business.
They have ripped off our community. They have stolen the wealth out of our neighborhoods.
This man is also going after Ford. Bruce Marks, a community activist who has pressured corporations to make available more than $1 billion in low-cost mortgages.
Remember that name, Ford Motor Company? They're vicious. I had a loan with them, 2 in fact, and it's 24% interest. That's 24.
NACA is also victorious against Ford. It reduces interest rates for hundreds of thousands of borrowers, funds $100 million to the NACA mortgage, and divests the associates, then the country's largest finance company. While we won those battles, we recognized that the power of greedy lenders, investors, rating agencies, and others, supported by the government, created a predatory lending wave that could not be stopped. The mortgage and financial crisis was coming, since homebuyers were being lured into mortgages that were structured to fail. On September 12, 2000, Bruce Marks testified in Congress, warning lawmakers.
Without such controls, Fannie Mae...
Marks was one of the first to predict the crisis, which would have a devastating impact on homeowners and communities nationwide.
Participation in these schemes by the GSEs poses potential risk for the housing and banking industry and for the economy in general.
By 2000, Mark's prediction came true. Millions of people were unable to make their monthly payments and were at risk of foreclosure.
Predatory lending has come back with a vengeance.
On August 23, 2007, at the National Press Club in D.C., NACA announces a campaign against Countrywide.
We're back. And now the fight is going after the biggest player out there, and that is Countrywide Financial.
At the time, it was considered untouchable and the gold standard in lending.
They're demanding Countrywide save face and their homes by rewriting mortgages.
NACA got what it demanded. Countrywide signs a legally binding agreement with NACA to reduce interest rates and outstanding principal amounts, making their predatory mortgages affordable. Countrywide participates in NACA's Save the Dream events to modify mortgages. NACA's next target, Bear Stearns.
The chant Main Street, not Wall Street. Angry homeowners today storming the Bear Stearns building in Manhattan.
Let's make sure that they hear it. Let's spread out and we're staying.
The government is going to do anything. They allow working women and men who worked hard to buy their homes and provide a roof over their head of their families.
It's an unprecedented giveaway of taxpayers' money. Why should our hard-earned money be used to benefit and subsidize the people that created the mortgage crisis?
Bear Stearns signs a legally binding agreement with NACA to reduce interest rates and outstanding principal amounts, making their predatory mortgages affordable. Bear Stearns participates in NACA's Save the Dream events to modify mortgages. The backbone of NACA's aggressive nonviolent advocacy is to hold the decision makers personally responsible for their actions.
We want her! We want her! We want her! We want her!
Herb Allison, CEO of Fannie Mae, which sets the industry standard for lending, was confronted by NACA as we blocked their main entrance.
Look us in the eye. Don't look at your bottom line. Look us in the eye and see what you've done. And we're going to make you responsible for what you've done. And you're going to bring some solutions to the table.
Fannie Mae signs a legally binding agreement with NACA to reduce interest rates and outstanding principal amounts, making their predatory mortgages affordable. Fannie Mae participates in NACA's Save the Dream events to modify mortgages.
They are on the verge of losing their own homes, so they decided to move in here. This is the Greenwich, Connecticut home of William Fry, a hedge fund manager who is trying to stop people from renegotiating subprime mortgages and avoiding foreclosure. Fry is suing Bank of America to keep it from issuing these new affordable loans to owners in need.
We work hard to buy these homes, and then we got tricked into these predatory loans, and now we can't afford them, and they don't want to help us.
And the lenders say they don't want to modify loans because they're afraid of being sued by Bill Fry. Well, we say Bill Fry needs to be afraid that people know where he lives.
Bill Fry's lawsuit fails. He stops his advocacy against homeowners.
They're causing financial violence on us. Right. So it's important that we see where the predators live. This is John Mack's house. John Mack, he is the CEO of Morgan Stanley. They own Saxon Mortgage. And Saxon Mortgage services hundreds of thousands of mortgages, and they refuse to restructure those mortgages to make them affordable over the long term. We're going to do a picket line around his house. Let's go. Yeah, around us.
Take a look at me. I'm your problem now.
I get a call my cell phone 20 minutes later that we want to work this thing out.
This is like the rise of the proletariat. We've seen this before historically, but certainly not recently in our country.
Well, what it says is that we were disciplined and organized, and we pierced that veil. We pierced that comfort level that they have. That $400 million buys them privacy. No longer.
Saxon Mortgage signs a legally binding agreement with NACA to reduce interest rates and outstanding principal amounts, making their predatory mortgages affordable. Saxon participates in NACA's Save the Dream events to modify mortgages.
They got the money, but they're not giving it to the people.
Martin Luther King would have stood up for something. Jesus stood up for something. We got to stand up for something.
Chase Bank signs a legally binding agreement with NACA to reduce interest rates and outstanding principal amounts, making their predatory mortgages affordable. Chase participates in NACA's Save the Dream events to modify mortgages. With legally binding agreements with all the major lenders and investors, NACA did what no one else thought possible. We organized massive events at convention centers nationwide, providing same-day solutions for homeowners with unaffordable mortgages.
So what I do is I take your mortgage payment and I reduce it by the total deficit that you have.
These events, taking place over at least 5 days each, attracted tens of thousands of homeowners at risk of foreclosure. At each event, NACA counselors teamed up with lenders who had hundreds of staff on site to provide affordable solutions.
It's a good thing for the banks. We do the work for them. It's a win-win situation.
Saving homes and saving lives.
It's a last-ditch effort for hundreds of homeowners on the verge of foreclosure.
More than 1,000 people wait in line downtown in hopes they can save their homes.
Hundreds of thousands of people fighting to keep their homes from foreclosure. It's become a nearly insurmountable challenge.
You can see there are thousands of people. They're expecting tens of thousands of people here to get their mortgages.
Dozens of people are spending the night outside in the cold and rain, hoping to hold on to their homes. This is a lot.
And camped out in order to guarantee their spot in line.
Losing their homes. Thousands pleading with bankers today, hoping to catch a break.
People from different walks of life, all in the same predicament.
The country are converging on South Florida. They're looking for help to stay in their homes.
Clear picture of the level of strain and suffering the foreclosure crisis is creating for families. Look no further than Daly City.
For a moment, we are inside the convention center where the
This could be the last chance of saving the place.
This facility is packed with people looking to refinance their mortgage and save.
Wow, Diana, look at that crowd behind you.
It's unbelievable, Michelle. Just take a look around. Look at it. Friday night, what are you doing? Look at what these people are doing, and they will probably sleep here.
First stop for what is really a mobile servicing center. Plans are being made to take it on the road across the country.
This is the devastation that these banks have caused. No one should have to be sleeping here overnight, staying 24, 48 hours just to save their homes. And everybody who's tried to work with the banks has failed. And this is the consequence. This is like a war zone. and is a war zone in America.
Despite the opposition from government and others, the results were extraordinary. Over the 144 Save the Dream events, more than 250,000 homeowners at risk of foreclosure obtained affordable same-day solutions, and many more obtained modifications through NACA's Home Save program. Homeowners were able to reduce their interest rate to as low as 2% and sometimes lower their outstanding principal, saving hundreds and often more than $1,000 in their monthly mortgage payments.
Our mortgage was $4,200, it's now $2,100.
Saving me $1,000 a month.
My monthly payment has been reduced $3,000. It's amazing. Thank you.
They brought our interest rate down from 10% to 2%. We're saving $1,100 a month on our loan.
For NACA, I won't be this happy today.
My mortgage payment used to be $2,235, and now they lowered it to $1,309. And you guys just hold on. There is help and there is hope at the end of the rainbow.
There is a CRA protester who spends 4 years harassing a bank and the bank's president. Finally, the bank craters and gives them $1.4 million, gives them $200,000 to set up their organization. They now got 20 offices, lending $3.5 billion.
A decade later, NACA has more than 50 offices nationwide, and major lenders have committed more than $13 billion. We provide the best mortgage in America. No down payment, no closing cost, no perfect credit, and always at a below market fixed rate.
My interest rate is 2.75. I brought it down by 1%, and my monthly payment is $11.32.
My interest rate is 1.75%. I pay $6.28 a month.
Brought down my interest rate to 2.875, and my payment is $675 a month.
The interest rate is 1.75, and my payment is $902.
Interest held 4%, and I'm paying $710 a month.
I have an interest rate 0.87, and I pay $580.
My interest rate was 3.5. I pay $686 a month.
NACA is absolutely the real deal.
I have a mortgage payment of $615. Being this young and going in on a house purchase by myself, I didn't think that was possible. But NACA is truly amazing.
I've been in America for 10 years now, and this is probably the first American dream I've experienced.
I really did get my dream home. It was everything. Thank you.
Bank of America has been our largest partner over more than 20 years. In 1995, it committed $500 million to the NACA mortgage. 4 years later, $3 billion. Another $3 billion 4 years after that, and in 2011, it raised their commitment to $3.5 billion. In total, $10 billion to help minority and low-income borrowers afford homes.
By identifying qualified applicants, giving them the financial management skills they need, and creating a financial safety net for those who need a little help in crisis, and the Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America was just the partner I was looking for.
Loan amount $252. My mortgage payment is $1,250, and just in a year's time, the value of the house has gone up to $340 already.
My loan is $200,000. My interest rate is 2%, and my mortgage payments is $0. I own a duplex, and my other renter is covering my cost.
Oh my God, it's $0. That's awesome.
NACA built the strongest foundation in the mortgage industry for lending to low and moderate income borrowers. We've added a 15-year mortgage that allows you to build wealth quickly.
0.05 interest rate for 15 years. It's a blessing. It's fantastic.
Another program allows Section 8 participants to use their Section 8 rental payments as mortgage payments. Called HOT PHA, it provides unprecedented homeownership opportunities. NACA continues to develop its state-of-the-art operations with a streamlined mortgage process. There's much more to come, as we expand these programs and develop additional financial services products for working people.
I think people would take more pride in the community because it's their property. This is hope. This is light at the end of the tunnel.
NACA believes in the principle that we are thy brother's keeper. Over the past 30 years, we've won the battles, and together we will continue to win the fight for economic justice. With more than 2 million members, we are a unique and powerful force as we act to make fundamental changes for working people.
You're not just a house on bricks, you're actually a human being. I can go home and say I have a home thanks to NACA.
We require people to volunteer
You need to see a counselor? Just a minute. Let me see if I can get someone for you.
in whatever way they feel comfortable.
Being part of the demonstrations, helping out at a Save the Dream event, helping in our offices, helping getting the word out.
There is no fight that is too big or too small, that together we cannot win.
Neighborhood Assistant Cooperation of America is one of the greatest home buying programs there is.
Because it can really change the course of your life, the course of the life that you create for your family. Greatest program in America, honestly. The doors of NACA are open for you. Go next week, make an appointment, I'll get you home.
Welcome to the NACA family.
All right. So I wanted to share that video. I felt like I couldn't share as good as that video did. So I was like, let me just play the video so everybody can learn about NACA. So the website is just naca.com. And as you can see, there's no down payment, no closing costs, no mortgage insurance, and no consideration of credit. So it really opens the door. You get a below market fixed rate. These are the rates right now, 5%, 4.5%, and 4.5%. Also, if you have money saved up, you can buy your rate down. So you can buy it down to a 0%, or like some of those lower rates that you heard. And then as you can see, they have the home purchase program. They also have landlord training. Like, remember the guy who was like, yeah, my mortgage is $0. You know, he owns a duplex. And so with NACA, you can purchase up to a 4-unit property. And I believe the max price for that property is $1,048,000. And so even the limits are high. Like, it just really creates amazing opportunity. If you know someone who's a homeowner, they also have the Home Save program. And so let's say, you know, somebody who's maybe on the verge of foreclosure or they're having an issue, the Home Save program can help them get a more affordable monthly payments through modification. Maybe you need emergency assistance if you're facing an unforeseen hardship. But you can basically receive support from the advocates to help you reach your goal. So this is just a great program. And I wanted us to be aware of it, and to share it with people. You know, so many people want to be homeowners, but they don't think it's possible. And this is like the best opportunity I've ever seen. My brother Jamal is actually the one who shared this with me, and I'm super grateful that he told me about it. And so, yeah, I just wanted to just share what the company is doing, a little bit of history of the company, and share that website. We have I know for sure at least one member of our church who I've spoken to and helped her get on the website, and she's really excited to become a homeowner and, you know, is registered for the home buyer class. But I would just love, you know, between this year and next year to celebrate with some members of our church for becoming homeowners. Like, I feel like that would be an awesome celebration. And especially a homeowner with a low interest rate, and even getting in a position to where, you know, you have control, you have an asset. This, you know, like the one guy said, he bought his house and a year later it's worth even more. You know, that's opportunity. When we're renting, we're paying someone else's mortgage. But when we're paying a mortgage, we're paying down our home and we're building equity and we're creating opportunity and building wealth for our family to really make a difference, to change the game. So I just wanted to take some time and share that. And I would love to hear any thoughts or questions. I could go back to the website, answer any questions. But does anybody have any thoughts? What you think about it? Any questions?
Yeah, I think, I mean, things like that, movements like that work well. So I think that's why people really have to pay attention to what's going on nowadays. Because you had people in our past that made a lot of valiant efforts and a lot of huge fights for equality and equity, and then now you have people that are in power that just come along with the pen and just wipe all those gains out. But the inequity in mortgages and redlining and things like that, it really caused a huge gap in as far as the wealth gap, because the buying a home is one of our first steps towards building wealth, because we're spending money on something that, you know, that we have to live in. We got to have a home anyway, but we're actually gaining. It's an asset for us, and not just we're not just consumers, but it's an asset for us to where we're actually making money. And so, you know, when you have people that either fight for improvement of infrastructure in some of our neighborhoods, when they improve that infrastructure, it improves the value of the homes, and whoever own those homes, they're building wealth. But if you're just renting, someone else is building the wealth. So there's a lot of fights that go on, that if we can put ourselves in a position to be a homeowner, we that's one of the first steps. And then once you get that type of asset, I mean, then it's easier to do other things also. When you have those type of assets, you're able to create even more income, to do other things to create more income. And so the reason why, you know, they tried so hard to make sure that that we did not have access to that type of wealth, is because didn't want us to gain that type of wealth that could really, you know, put us on an even playing field. And so and even when they were talking about, you know, the prime, the prime, the subprime loans and all that kind of stuff, you know, even with that, you know, when I was in, you know, I mean, I'm still a licensed realtor. I just really don't have time to practice it, but I keep the license. But I mean, you see people, especially right before 2007 or 2008, you see people getting these loans in this market, to where it's so easy to get a loan, but you know that if the slightest thing goes wrong, they're not going to be able to maintain it, because they're already struggling, and which is sometimes reflected in the credit. And then when somebody else is able to go and get a 2 or 3% loan, and then they have to go and get a 15% loan, that means if you buy $100,000 house or $200,000 house, the person that's struggling is actually paying 25% more in mortgage,
Right.
than the person that's in a good shape, and so they're being set up for failure. And so it's good that when you don't have that kind of knowledge, you got people that's fighting for you, helping you try to get that kind of knowledge. But some people are just snakes, and they take advantage of people for the sole purpose of, because when you buy that house, and then they take it back from you, all that money you gave them, you just donated it, and they take it back and go and resell it again. And so it's good that when you have people that's trying to look out for our best interest, and not everybody's in a position to where they need to get a house right then. And
Right.
sometimes it's good to be disciplined enough to, while you're in the credit building stage, it's good to be disciplined so you can learn, how to learn how to maintain what you're getting. Because if you get, it's like, even just, cars aren't a good investment, but we see people, when they get their tax money, they go and buy a car and they get these horrible interest rates, and 8 months later they lost the car. And so sometimes it's good to be patient so you can learn how, so that you can keep it to where it truly is an investment. But purchasing a home, and one thing I learned too, that I used to help people out when I was a realtor. Well, I'm still a realtor, but when I was practicing, in it full time, is that you don't always try to go for the big one. Just get you something. And so even if you just got to buy a little 2-bedroom townhouse, or just a little small, just get you something to where your money is going towards your wealth. And then it might not be your dream home, might not be anywhere near your dream home, but you got to find somewhere to live anyway. And so where you're going to live, it might be, a seriously downgrade from where you want to, but just go and get it because you own it. And then you stay in there 3, 4, 5 years, and then now, you have some equity in that home right there. Now you can begin to upgrade, and you didn't just give money away for 3, 4, 5 years. But you got to be around the right people to give you that information, so you can make decisions that's going to help you out in the long run.
Yes. One thing I really like about NACA is the counseling side of it. So I'll see if I could find it on the site, because I thought it was pretty cool. But one thing NACA really does is the educational side, and like preparing people to like not just purchase a home, but stay in their home. Let's see if I could find it. But there's this, basically with NACA, I think what I saw was that what was it? Like, basically they have like the lowest rates of foreclosure. Like, basically people get the loan, they keep the loan, and like it goes well because of the process that you go through, because they don't do it just simply based on credit. Like, NACA actually sits down, they look at your whole budget, review the bank statements, work with you, educate you. So for example, let's say that someone is maybe their rent is $800 a month, but then they're wanting to get a mortgage, and the mortgage is $1,700 a month. Now maybe it could fit in their budget, but NACA has this thing called what is it called? It's called like payment shock, it is called payment shock. And basically what it means is like there's this big gap, and it's not what you're used to paying. And so NACA will have it where you would have to show that you could be comfortable with making that payment. And so it's okay if your rent is low, but if you're going to want a mortgage that's $800 more than your rent, then you'll have to show that you can put away that extra $800 a month without touching it, like in an account that you don't touch. And then let's see if I could find it, but it's just amazing, the stats of it. So NACA has built, I think this is it, a successful track record of over 75,000 successful home buyers, over 90% of whom are people of color. Oh wow, I didn't know that. With an extremely low that's it right there. That's what I was looking right there. The extremely low foreclosure rate of 0.0001218%. So about 1/100%. That is amazing. That is amazing. Like, to me, that just speaks volumes. And it says NACA is the largest HUD certified counseling organization in the country. So yeah, different people have different barriers, maybe limited savings or unaffordable terms or restrictive underwriting, racism and biases. And so NACA, has a solution: no down payment, no closing costs, low market fixed rate, and aggressive buy down. Let me see if I can find the buy down material details. I don't think it says the details on here. But basically, for a certain amount of money, and it's lower than if you were to do it with any other mortgage company, you can buy down the interest rate to zero. So if you have money saved, you can use that to like lower your rate. A lot of time restrictive underwriting based on credit score, like that's a big issue for people. Like maybe they're consistent, they've been saving up, but they still have some stuff that is like causing their credit score to be low, and they've been doing good last couple of years, but they still, have some areas that's still on their credit, for 7 years that's hurting them. Well, NACA has like an alternative underwriting, so they don't look at your credit score at all. They look at your budget, like can you actually afford it, your debt, your income, and things like that. So I thought that was really cool. And then let's see. Racism and biases. So, at our church, we're very educated in understanding this. And so, and I'm going to read this part because I think this is really good. It says the same shameful legacy of slavery with the continued racism and biases is pervasive throughout the home buying process. This is a fundamental barrier to affordable homeownership for African Americans and other minorities. While NACA's purchase program is open to everyone, the vast majority are people of color who historically have been locked out of this fundamental generator of wealth. The impact is at a crisis point after millions of homeowners who were overwhelmingly African American were foreclosed on during the recent mortgage crisis and lost billions of dollars in wealth. While the NACA's mortgage is outstanding, the essential transformation in addressing embedded racism lies in changing the sequence. I gotta hurry up and get a laptop charger. Daddy, do you think you could continue reading that for me real quick while I grab a charger before my computer dies?
Yeah, well, the NACA mortgage is outstanding, and essential transformation in addressing embedded racism lies in changing the sequence of the home buying process. The standard home buying process, which begins with a real estate agent before moving to the seller and finally the lender, erects significant barriers to people of color and the LMI home buyers due to racism and bias. Real estate agents often refuse to work with buyers with lower credit scores, lower incomes, or minorities. Sellers will often not accept offers from these borrowers or may only consider them as a last resort. Lastly, lenders reject about half the applications from people of color and LMI. LMI just means low to moderate income, and LMI borrowers. NACA appends the traditional process by putting mortgage pre-approval first. To overcome these barriers in traditional home buying, NACA pre-approves borrowers for its best in America mortgage through counseling and budgeting that requires full documentation, which all those things that are listed. Once the borrower is NACA qualified, pre-approved, virtually all applications submitted to the lender successfully close their mortgage, where other lenders reject half the submitted bank applications with this solid document-based approval in hand. The borrowers become the equivalent of cash buyers and therefore a desired customer for real estate agents, sellers, and lenders. And so, like when I, as a realtor, when I practice full time, that was one of the things that we gave to give leverage to our offer. And so, if I was with a buyer that made an offer, or if I was with the seller, the one thing that we wanted to see was a pre-approval letter from the lender. And without that pre-approval letter, most of the time that offer was not going to be accepted. And so if you're in a situation like they're saying here that you can't even get that pre-approval letter, your offer is not really going to be taken seriously. And so that's really a tool to help with the buying process. That when you and everybody, some folk don't come ready, but if you have a mind to get ready, the right counselor can help you get ready. And then when you go, you don't waste your time, and you're able to equip yourself with that pre-approval letter that's extremely helpful. If you're not a cash buyer.
Yeah. So it is amazing, and this is where the benefits of NACA's program and staff have not overcome all racist actions. NACA has mobilized its membership and will continue to do so to fight discrimination and predatory practices. NACA has been in the forefront of these fights and was the first to coin the term predatory lending. in its first campaign in 1991 against lenders targeting the equity of Boston's African-American homeowners. With more than 3 million members nationwide, the resources to back up our campaign, NACA is a force that is both respected in the home ownership arena and feared by the predatory and discriminatory lenders. So that is NACA. There's another video, it's shorter, that I really like. Let me see if I can remember where the videos are. About, I think, Media Room. It was the one on Selma. Oh, right there. I really love this one. I thought it was really cool. I think this one is short. Let's see. Yeah. We'll watch this one too. I thought it was really good.
In January 2023, a devastating tornado tore through Selma, Alabama, leaving homes in ruins and families displaced. For many, rebuilding seemed hopeless.
We move now to a developing story in Alabama. There are huge, brutal storms striking various areas of that state. Details are still coming in right now, but a tornado appears to have ripped through the city of Selma.
Help the people here in Selma because we really need it.
But where others saw devastation, NACA saw an opportunity.
A lot of people lost a lot, in the storms.
To rebuild and reimagine what's possible for affordable homeownership.
And this is actually emotional because first off, we're in Selma, Alabama. You're talking about black or brown ownership, and you're talking about doing it with integrity and from a place of love.
Housing is a human right, housing for all. God bless NACA. Thank God.
Whoever you are, Mr. Bruce Mark, thank you. Because I've been helping for this for many years. Thank you.
We're standing here on the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama. This is where the suppression of the civil rights movement occurred on March 7th, 1965, known as Bloody Sunday. NACA doesn't just talk the talk about the civil rights movement. We do the work in the fight for economic justice. Selma residents have become skeptical that anything positive will happen. People come here often on Bloody Sunday to give beautiful speeches, but nothing happens. NACA is here to make a difference. We're here with NACA's Best in America mortgage. No down payment, no closing costs, no fees, and a full market fixed rate. But we're also here to develop affordable housing. Beautiful, modular, energy efficient homes.
The mission? Revitalize Washington Street with affordable modular homes and help the city rise again.
So the NACA house, this first NACA house that we're building, is comprised of two boxes. This is the first box, the A box.
I guess it's 6 or 7 hours to build the floor here, and then it should take 5 or 6 hours to add the walls.
These panels right here are going on this floor right here, which is the B half of the floor. The A half, we've already set the outside walls. They're working on the interior walls. As soon as they get all them finished, the plumbers and electricians come in and run all of their stuff. And then it rolls into the next station where we pick the top up and set the top.
We're hauling these from here at the plant to Selma, Alabama. They roughly weigh about 40,000 pounds, just the box itself. The most important part of the job is making sure we don't damage the unit itself and just pretty much watching out for anything and everything that comes our way. I've been doing it for about 5 years. Love every minute of it.
I'm excited. This is the first day we're going to receive our first modular homes in Selma, Alabama. Our model is called the Whitney Lake. The Whitney Lake is over 1,438 square foot of home. Some of the features that come with it, you get a lot of cabinetry, you're going to get a lot of space, especially in the family room. You get 3 huge bedrooms and the opportunity to rebuild a community here in Selma, Alabama.
It is very secure because where we put these houses in Florida, in South Florida, when they connect that, this house is rated to 180 mile per hour wind load. So it is very, very secure.
Let's take a look. Let's come inside. Let's take a look.
Welcome in to the model home. As you can see, we staged and got furniture in. Standing actually in the family room with the open floor concept. Really, nice. Here's the dishwasher here.
All the appliances come
with these models. So with the Whitney Lake and the Core Cottage, a lot of good things going on here in the city of Selma. But NACA, I'm excited to be here, continue to move forward with the construction process. Can't wait.
Nyla,
Not manufactured.
come get this to Kai.
Modular at the highest standard that exceeds the state, local, international building standards. Through Vantum, where they reduced the energy cost by 75% because of insulated walls. So we're really excited.
Bringing these beautiful, affordable homes to Selma was a collective effort, made possible by support from key partners, especially Bank of America and their CEO, Brian Moynihan.
I want to just mention this guy right here, Bruce Marks. Bruce is the CEO of NACA. And when Bruce and I first met, it was a little contentious. I looked at him kind of sideways because he was saying some things to me that I really thought were too good to be true. And I told him so. And so but he's persistent. I don't think I've ever met anyone as persistent as Bruce Marks. He continued to tell me and insist that what he was saying to me was doable and we could get it done. So Bruce, thank you so very much for what you're doing. Y'all give him a hand here. So Bruce, why don't you just tell us what's going on?
We're going to make Selma the example. We said, let's get the first houses done by the Jubilee. The mayor said, oh, I don't believe that's possible. But what you're seeing here in real time, and we're working with Vantum Affinity doing the modular homes, these are beautiful homes. But also financing from Bank of America that does an outstanding job on the mortgages, and working with the Housing Authority, it's going to be people with a Section 8 housing choice voucher. They're going to be able to use that voucher to be a homeowner.
I really appreciate you coming and doing this and, giving us the opportunity to try to get some type of better housing.
And the blessings in Selma kept coming. 2 of NACA's modular homes were given away for free to 2 deserving families.
My name is Tamika Newberry. I was born here in Selma. I have 3 kids, Kelsey, Terry, and Kamika. I have 2 grandchildren, plus my husband. So we have a lot of grandchildren. I was affected in the tornado January 12th, and I had to relocate. It was hard for me and my family because we lost a lot of things and stuff, and we had to start back over.
I'm just super happy for her. She lost everything she had in the storm.
Miss Curtis from Selma Housing Authority had called and told me that I was in the drawing. Got up this morning, thanking God, but not thinking that my name was gonna get pulled.
Tamika Newberry.
When I heard my name, I was just shocked and just jumping for joy. I was just outdone.
How do you feel? I feel awesome. I feel awesome. God is so good.
This is great. This is what you live for. This is why you have the best job in the country. Where else can you get more job satisfaction, mission satisfaction than this?
You see some semblance of hope because, after the storm, this area was basically tore up and a lot of people lost a lot. So to see that, these programs and, corporations are actually help into our city to help build it back up, to help put people in the house, man, that's dope. You can't really beat that. That's dope. Sometimes, people feel like, being in Selma, you're forgotten about, but, things like this let us know that, the world with us. So, yeah, I like it.
It's just good to get back to the community. And, this partnership with NACA, the City of Selma, Black Belt Community Foundation, I just look forward to the work that we're going to continue to do to revitalize our community.
In Selma, NACA helped build something stronger than any storm. Hope for the future.
NACA's rising, Selma's going to rise. We're thrilled to be here.
So that is the last video that I would share. I thought that video was really inspiring. And so I definitely wanted to just share it with everybody because it's just a little bit of, education, history, hope. And it's just really exciting to see what they did in Selma and to create a jubilee, and just continuing the just the fight for economic justice. And I'm grateful to be a part of that fight just simply by sharing the information and helping people be aware. Like, they don't do any commercials, and so it's not something that you know about unless somebody told you. So everything is word of mouth. So I just want to encourage you all to, spread the word. If you want to become a homeowner, go to the website. If you know someone who's wanting to become a homeowner, share it with them. It's an amazing program. Does anybody else have any comments or questions or anything?
Nope. I just encourage anybody that wants to become a homeowner, be patient and don't stay within your means and allow yourself an opportunity to expand, but don't put yourself in a bind, because in the end, you want to take step one, and step one might not be the dream, but step one, you're building wealth for yourself every time you make that payment, and you're getting equity in that home, and so you might not be able to get what you dreamed about, but get enough for you, and then your next step might be closer to the dream, but start and then you just want to make sure that you can maintain the purchase and make that purchase work for you. But it's the best step towards beginning to build wealth.
Awesome. I was trying to see if I could find it. But when I was on the website looking, they also have a partnership, like those modular homes that we saw. And it's new construction, but it was like less than $200,000. Like some of those that you saw that were really nice, they were like $130,000. And then they have this program, like this land program, where I guess they like partner with the city, and sometimes they're able to help you get the land for $1. I'm not exactly sure how they do it. I guess it's like grants and stuff, partnership. And then you're able to get the brand new construction home minus all of the normally if you do construction, the cost of your home is not just simply the cost to build it, it's the cost to pay the contractor, and all those things are added into that price. And so they found a way to cut out a lot of those fees to where you're actually getting it at like this base price of what it actually costs to build a home. And it makes it like extremely affordable. And I saw it on the website. And now I'm like, where was it? Because I was going to show y'all, because I was looking, there was a home I really liked. I was like, oh, that is so nice.
Some government entities, they have homes that people have lost. And so they have a surplus of homes. They have an inventory of land. And most of the time, the homes aren't any good anymore, but people may have lost them for certain reasons. And so they have and sometimes they will give it towards affordable housing. And so they might have the piece of land, and then they may allow some group to come in. Sometimes it's groups that come in with the community and with the purchaser to help build a home, and to where you put sweat equity in, and so you're not charged for everything that would have normally been charged for. But all government, when I was in St. Augustine, there were properties that the city may have owned, and didn't necessarily want to own it, but they owned it, and they could assist with home ownership and first time buyers and things like that, with SHIP programs and a lot of other different things that I forgot the name of them. I've worked on some to where we help people build a homes, and the people put in so many hours, but the city has a surplus of it.
Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, stuff like that. And so city has and they can work with different companies and trying to help people move into homes that might be low to moderate income. But that's probably what that is.
I found it. They said, how's this possible? City sells vacant property to home buyer for $1.
Right.
So you save anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000, depending on how much that land. No developer overhead or profit, so you save 25 to 50% of property costs. And then you get modular housing. And modular housing, that's steady. Like, that's a strong house. And then you save on builder costs. So, for example, a 1,200 square foot 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, purchase price $115,000, land $1, no fee, builder cost $85 per square foot, foundation. So, like, it kind of breaks it down to how, like, that's amazing. $115,000 for a 1,200 square foot home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. Like, that's amazing. That's probably how a lot of those people have, like, I was like, man, their mortgage is like less than $1,000. Like, that is amazing. Between low interest rate, low costs, and all that, it really sets you up to have, like,
and then sometimes they might
cheaper than rent.
Sometimes they might have a little stipulation to where you have to wait like 5 years to sell or something like that right there. But it still works in the buyer's favor. And so it's a lot of good incentives out there to kind of help people. But there's a lot of stuff going on nowadays that tries to erase all of those gains and efforts that people have made in the past. And so we just got to be mindful of what people are doing when they go and try to do things to erase the gains of towards equity that our ancestors have made.
Yes, definitely. So hopefully, this gets to the ears that need to hear it, and this information is a blessing for people. And that's pretty much all I got to share.
All right, Dr. Cole, you got anything you want to say, or Judge Rawls, y'all got anything you want to say?
Very informative and great presentation, and I like the way people come together and protest. They got things done. Sometimes we have to speak up and gather people around and get our voices, let our voices be heard. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
You see how the mortgages was coming down?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That was awesome. They knew that they were acting like predators, giving people, 20%, 18% mortgages. And when the people came together, the stuff that they probably said they couldn't do, they found a way to do it. There's always a way to do it. You just got to give people the willpower. You got to give people the encouragement to go and do something that they claiming they can't do. And they went and adjusted those mortgages down, and they still make billions and billions of dollars. But now they're being fair. So, yeah, we have to work together.
Amen.
All right. Amen. Judge Rawls, I see you unmuted. You want to say something?
No, I came on late, but the portion that I did see, it was very informative, and it's always nice to be able to see where there's opportunities when you don't think there are opportunities to be able to build on legacy.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for joining us on Zoom, on Facebook, on YouTube. If this was informative to you, we encourage you to share the post, and we would be extremely, extremely appreciative. God bless you. We have our trunk or treat coming up this week. It's always a huge event. The community looks forward to it, and I think it's probably going to be one of the larger ones because this one is actually on the day of. I was looking at the news last night, and it was talking about being careful with a lot of the treats and stuff that they're giving the kids. Have THC in them. And so I'm thankful that God gave us this vision so people can come and bring their children. There's free food, free hayride, free everything, and there won't be anything harmful for our children. They can stay over here the entire time in their costumes and have fun. And so the members of Greater Bethel, we need to make sure that we're out in full force by 3:30, prepared for the people. But I think we normally expect 300 people or so that normally attends our event, but I think it's going to be a lot bigger this year with it being on what they call Halloween, but what we call trunk or treat. And so let's come ready to serve our community in a safe and positive way. All right.
Bring kids forward to it, Pastor.
Ma'am?
My grandkids are looking forward to it.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, you all have a good one. God bless you, and see you tomorrow. Got prayer meeting at noon, Bible study at 6. God bless you.